All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So, interesting story about Alex Van Halen and Michael Anthony. Uh, as Michael Anthony kind of reacts to something that Alex is doing, and Alex doesn't do a lot of things. So, it's kind of interesting. Before I break into that, here is the band Allocate. They're from Sweden. The album is called Heaven Tonight. Had these guys on the show about a month or so ago and really enjoyed talking with them. If you like Van Halen, Deep Purple, and Whitesnake, I'm thinking you'll probably enjoy Allocate. If not, yeah, no big deal. I'm sure they would appreciate it though. If you do like the album, maybe to purchase a copy, courtesy of the people over at Pride and Joy Music, who are definitely doing good stuff this year. I am very impressed with that record label. So Michael Anthony was surprised that Alex Van Halen is selling his gear, like all of it. Michael says it appears he's selling everything right down to the last drumstick. And so I guess this means that Alex is finished, right? He's not going to be playing music anymore. He says here, I haven't spoken to Alex in a while, probably about a year. And I actually sent him a text on his birthday last month, and he didn't hear anything back from Alex. This, by the way, is the same thing that's happening with Sammy Hagar, apparently. Publicly, Sammy has said, hey, I sent him a message and he didn't respond, or I left a message and he never called me back. And this is something that's been going on for quite some time. Um, Michael says, I was pretty surprised when I heard about this auction called Backstage Auctions that he's going to be holding right around this time of the month. I don't know if he's already had the auction, but it says here the beginning of June. Somebody had sent me the link to it, and it appears he's selling everything right down to his last drumstick. So I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I know that he continues to grieve today over Eddie's passing. And basically, Eddie was the only person that he actually ever played music with. Michael continued, I never really knew Alex to be a person to go out and jam with other people or other bands unless Ed was a part of it. Maybe he feels that since his brother's gone, he doesn't feel the desire to go out and play music anymore. But I can only speculate. When I found out about this auction and started checking it out, it is pretty sad because it truly means that it's the end of anything that could have been as far as a tribute, you know? Asking if he is looking forward to reading Alex's upcoming book, Michael Anthony said, yeah, I actually am. I heard that the title is Brothers, and knowing Alex, he'll probably just talk about the band, but I think that he might be focusing more on just Ed's relationship with himself growing up and moving here with their family to the States, kind of just retelling that story that is fairly well known out there about how the Van Halen brothers came to the United States and probably just the relationship that he had with Ed. The book, by the way, is coming out on October 22nd via HarperCollins. It's 384 pages long, and it will be under the biography and autobiography listing. It's currently being sold or listed at a price of $32. So, you know what? This seems to be the end probably for, Alex Van Halen. No more speculation because I think he's probably just done with music, which is really sad. He was just ranked the other day on somebody's favorite drummer list as like in the top 20, which does he deserve that? Probably. He probably deserves it. I don't know if people really regarded Alex as being a top drummer until recently. Maybe because today's drummers aren't really that much to talk about. So I'm not being mean. I mean, there are some exceptions to it, but the list had mostly classic rock drummers from 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, right? Um, I think Alex is a very unique drummer, and so he definitely deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which thankfully he is. But if you're hoping to see an authentic Van Halen tribute, and this is interesting because Michael Anthony, who is about to go out with Sammy Hagar and do all of this Van Halen music, he's not saying, hey, we're the tribute. Remember David Lee Roth when Ed passed away, or maybe even before that, he said, hey, I'm Van Halen de facto because, Van Halen isn't going to be doing anything. But I would say Sammy and Michael are now Van Halen de facto, along with Joe Satriani and the great Jason Bonham playing drums. It should be a good event to go and check out. But Alex is maybe not saying he's retiring from music, but it appears that he is done selling everything down to the last drumstick. So sad news again. I'm not sure if it's, just that Ed has passed away and maybe he just figures there's no point in it, or he just doesn't see the need to go out there and play music anymore. He is what, probably close to 70 years old. I don't know his exact age, but at a certain point, some people are just like, whatever, there's no Van Halen anymore. There can be no Van Halen without Ed. This is one of those circumstances, unless Wolfie was to say, hey, I'm going to take my dad's place. Nobody is going to agree to that. And Wolfie wants to have nothing to do with that on that level. Maybe if he did want to have something to do with that, Alex may have gone in for that because, this is Ed's son, and he may have just viewed the whole thing a little bit differently. But I'm thinking he's saying, look, guys, I'm done. I'm just walking away from this. So, if you're into getting gear and participating in what'll probably be a very expensive auction, then you too could own some Alex Van Halen stuff. And I just think it's sad. It is sad. It's an end to something. If it's not the end of an era, it's the end of a possibility of a tribute, or it's probably just the end of both of those things. Anyway, if you're looking for some replacement music that's up and coming, check out Allocate, Heaven Tonight. No, it's probably not as good as Van Halen, but it's pretty good. And it will take you back to the days of, Deep Purple, Whitesnake, and Van Halen. Of course, Deep Purple has some new stuff out there, and it's really good. But if you want the 80s style production values here, and the big hooks, and the posing, big guitar riffs, posing, like guys posing with their guitar and doing that kind of stuff, this is the band to listen to, or one of them, right? Maybe not the only band, but they're pretty good. So check them out. Allocate, and their album is called Heaven Tonight. I'm Dave. Thanks for watching. If you could watch the videos, that would help. The Clapton thing is wearing off, and when that goes away, I'm back to just creating videos each and every day. Some, I guess, are good and some aren't, or the algorithm will pay attention to some videos and the algorithm will just run to the other side of the universe to avoid the other ones. So if you could support the channel, that would be great. Patreon, YouTube memberships, and buy me a coffee. All right, folks, see you soon.